Greetings, everyone. We are into week 6 for the spring semester. Your instructor, Charles Ansorgi, is back again with another weekly update for applications of selected advanced statistics. And I think that this update will probably last approximately 8 minutes. The topics for the update are those that are listed on the screen. We're getting ready for the first set of assessments that are scheduled for this class during the semester. The proctor selection and the registration for the unit exams is now complete, and I'd like to thank all of you who have cooperated in this process. The vetting process has gone well, and I think we're now pretty much ready to go for the assessments that are coming up later this week and then also next week. Do contact me immediately if your proctor is not going to be available for the exam that's going to be coming up. You need to check later this week just to make sure and confirm the fact that he or she will be available at the time that you're going to be completing the unit examination. Remember that the proctors need to be available both at the beginning of the time that you start the examination, and then also when you submit the answers for scoring. Proctors should have their usernames and passwords for the exams. This is typical for the first test that this information is not at hand. So when you contact your proctor to arrange a time to complete the examination, you might just check with that person just to make sure that they have that username and password available. And remember that the username and password is private information. It's for their eyes only. It's not for you to know. All the students in the class, and that's most of you, should have completed the exam demo, that test trial, to experience what it's like to be able to complete an examination. The questions, the answers to the questions really didn't matter. It was just the experience in being able to go through and see what it was like to complete an examination using MapleTA. When you complete the quizzes scheduled for this week and then also for the unit examination, what you're going to be doing is going to the announcement page for Blackboard, and then there's going to be a link that will be found in an announcement which is related to the assessment. So later this week, when you complete the quizzes, you'll go to Blackboard, find the announcement for the quiz, click on the link, and that will get you access to MapleTA. Remember, you can complete up to 3 attempts, and then the best score of up to 3 attempts is the one that's used for assessment purposes. Feedback will be available, so you can find out which items you missed and what the correct answers happen to be for those missed items beginning at 12 a.m. on Saturday morning. I encourage you to take advantage of that, and there will be some instructions that will be found on Blackboard. Again, just click on a link that will take you to a video that I prepared that describes how you go about the process of reviewing the missed items for the quiz attempts. I want to have you complete the first quiz beginning the 48-hour time period will be starting at 12 a.m. on Thursday, and then you must complete up to the 3 attempts by midnight on Friday. Each one of those quizzes will have 15 items, which have been randomly selected from approximately 150 items that are in the bank, the test bank for this quiz. All of these items are multiple choice questions. The real purpose for the quiz is to help prepare you for the unit examination, so you're not going to be surprised by the type of questions that will be appearing on that unit exam. First unit exam is scheduled for Tuesday, February 24th, and you will need to complete that examination between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. All times for this class, this semester, are Central Time. So if you're outside of the Central Time zone, you need to adjust your time accordingly. And please do contact me. Give me a heads up if you anticipate that there are going to be problems before the testing date. Don't contact me, excuse me, the 11th hour and the 59th minute and say, oh, I think I'm going to have a problem, unless something really does happen to come up just at the very last minute. The unit exam will have 30 multiple choice questions, and you can check on the appropriate video segment to get a better idea and some further information regarding the content areas for this unit examination and the approximate number of items that are related to each of the topics. This is open book, open notes. The time limit is set at 150 minutes. Need to back up just for a moment. Open book, open notes, that means that you can access the book online. You can access notes that you happen to have. You can't use a search engine like Google or Bing to ask some question, but you can use the resources for the book, and you can use notes that you happen to have collected. And there's also going to be a suggestion that you have some of the tables that are found on Blackboard printed so that you have those available so you can get access to them quickly. I'm going to try to be available as much as I possibly can on Tuesday, the February 24th, in case there are any problems. Sonia will also try to be available. She does, however, have class commitments later in the afternoon, so she's not going to be accessible. So if you need to contact someone, you should contact me. The Maple TA help desk is also going to be available between 8 o'clock and 5 o'clock that day. And oftentimes the person steps away, so you can leave a message and the person usually gets back, the person at the help desk. Remember that the faster the connection that you happen to have to the internet, the fewer the problems that you're likely to have in completing the examination. I want you to make sure that you read and understand information related to effect size, which is found in this first unit for the class. This is a topic that was not included when some of the class information was created a couple of years ago. Now it's an important topic that's found in Graviter and Wollnow, so I want you to make sure that you know about how to determine effect size for the different types of hypotheses that are being tested and shown. Knowing how to compute effect size is important not only for this unit, but it's also going to be something that you'll be looking at for the second unit for the class. Very soon, in fact, right after you're finished with this first unit, you're going to be learning about data analysis using either Vassar Stats or SPSS. There's going to be information, or there already is information, regarding the use of both of those options that's found on Blackboard. And I want you to be aware of the fact that with the two options that are available, if you happen to have SPSS already, that means that either someone has gifted it to you or if you paid approximately $180 for accessing it. The disadvantage of SPSS is that it's kind of pricey, about $180. Vassar Stats, on the other hand, is free. So it's the one that I encourage. But they're both good programs. Vassar Stats is a little bit more bare bones, but the answers, the final answers, the critical final answers are the same regardless of which one of the two packages are used for data analysis. What you're going to be asked to do is analyze some data that will be provided for you and then interpret the results and then write up the results in the form of a class project. And this is going to be due toward the end of the semester. What you learn in unit number 2 with respect to the various types of data analysis will be critical for you in order for you to be able to analyze the data and interpret the results and then present those results in the form of a project. So some important information is ahead for unit number 2. Your assignment for this week is to complete a review of all of the classes. I want you to review the supplementary information on the Blackboard website, especially those research questions that are posed in one of the documents. There's a virtual lab again that's available for you to take a look at with answers provided. I want you to prepare for that first quiz, which is coming up on Thursday and Friday, and then get ready for that unit examination, which is going to be next week. There is no problem set due this week. And then lastly, I want you to print the F tables, the chi-square table, the sample size tables, and the Z transformation table. Have that available when you complete actually both the quizzes and also the unit examination. I'm going to schedule a review session for unit number 1 on Sunday evening, February 22nd. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'd like you to send me some questions if you'd like to have some questions answered by noon this Friday. We're going to be using Adobe Connect. I'll be sending out later this week a URL which will allow you to be able to connect and listen to a review session. This review session will be recorded. It will be posted on Blackboard so that you can view this review session and listen to what was said. I hope that this preparation for this first unit has gone well. Please let me know if there are some things that I can do to assist your learning of the material. And then just ahead, you're going to be learning about ANOVA, analysis of variance. This is regarded as being the centerpiece for this class, and it's the basis for the project that's due at the end of the semester. Hope everyone does well on the quizzes on Thursday and Friday of this week. And then lastly, I've shown some pictures of some of the national parks that my wife and I have visited. This is the Grand Canyon, descending into the Grand Canyon. We were there at Christmas time several years ago, stayed at Sedona, and then traveled up to the Grand Canyon and descended into the canyon. It was very icy and snowy. You had to have poles, you had to have things on your shoes to prevent you from slipping and falling because there were some fairly precipitous drops. Gorgeous view though. If you've never visited the Grand Canyon, make sure you put it on your bucket list. It's an important place to visit at some point in your life. That's it for this update. Be back again in another week. So long.